I'm a big fan of yours. I gotta set the record straight here before we get into this.
All right, bet.
Whenever you got to get up and leave,
I'm here for you.
You've come a long way since Eastern Michigan when you were 180 pounds.
Maybe 190, maybe.
I want to clear this up. You went on
I already know. I already know what you're
No,
going to
wait a
ask me.
second.
I already know what you're going to say. I wasn't going to cut you. That's what you're about to say, right?
See, you did the interview. I'm just saying I get calls. I've been beat up a lot in my life.
I know.
But, I mean, they call me and say, you were going to cut Maxx Crosby? I go, what? Yeah, he came on our show. He said you were going to cut him.
Literally threatened to cut me on the middle of the field. One of my first training camp. And his thing, like, he's an offensive coach. And I've always had offensive coaches till AP got here. But he would get so mad about batting balls. Like, we'd be in practice doing team, and he refused to let us bat the ball. But I would tell him, I'm like, why the fuck are we practicing to not bat the balls? But in a game, they're going to be doing the same shit. So What's the point? But he's an offensive guy, so he wants practice to move a certain way. So I'm not even thinking. I'm just trying to make plays and whatever. I'm a third string. I'm just trying to do everything. So it was like the second week of training camp. I swat a ball down, and I'm fucking hyped, celebrating, and he's all looking at me all irritated, whatever. Happens again. Boom, swat a ball down. Then it happens at the end of practice. I swat it for the third time. He's like, stop swatting the fucking ball down. He goes, I'll cut your ass. I swear to God, if you do it one more time. And I'm looking at him like, all right. And then I just go back to the huddle. Like, he shut down practice and motherfucker.
So I'm going to clarify this to everybody. Our tackles, our offensive linemen, were not allowed to cut our defensive linemen below the legs in quick protection. So I told the D-line, since we're not going to ever block low, don't jump up and bat balls down.
Yeah.
But you didn't listen. You jumped up and batted 9 balls down in one practice.
I can't help
And
myself.
finally I said, if you bat one more ball down, I'm going to cut your ass, meaning we were going to cut your legs out.
For 5 years, I legitimately thought you meant you were going to cut me on the field. I did not know that. I thought that's what you meant in the moment. So I was like, we're in practice. You know me, I can't fucking help myself. So I'm going balls to the wall, and you screamed in front of everybody, I'm going to fucking cut your ass. And I'm thinking like, probably called CJ. I might be released this afternoon.
I want you to look in the lens right there and apologize to me.
I apologize. I mean, I wouldn't be here without you.
I mean,
I wouldn't be here without you.
I get accused of running Khalil Mack off. I get accused of cutting Maxx Crosby. I don't want Tom Brady. What do you guys think? I'm some dumbass here or what? Look at this jacket. You see that right there? Okay.
They can't take that away from me.
Anyways, we had Julian Edelman here yesterday.
Yep.
And he's one of my favorite all-time Gruden grinders. I mean, here's a 7th-round quarterback. Mm-hmm. They convert him to wide out. He plays defense, Super Bowl champion, Maxx Crosby. I like you as a Gruden grinder more than Edelman. You come out of Eastern Michigan. Just maybe go back to how you have made this transition from a Eastern Michigan, what are you, a Huron or something? Is that your nickname, the Huron?
We used to be I don't think you can even say that anymore. So you might have to cut that. You'll get canceled
Eastern
again.
Michigan, what are you? I've already been. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can't get canceled twice.
Eastern Michigan what?
Eagles.
Eagles,
yeah.
But how do you transition from EMU to a superstar pass rusher in the NFL?
Honestly, it really just comes down to the basics. It's putting in the work. I mean, ever since I got in the NFL. I mean, you saw me play on Tuesday nights. I know you mentioned that story. You're like, I'm seeing this white dude moving around. I'm thinking, he's a ball player, but people didn't really see it. You know what I mean? And you were one of the only people to give me a chance. So once I got in the building, I knew I needed to just continue working and fine tune my craft. And to this day, like you got to ask CJ, my agent. We're in there. I got him up. I'm up at 4:45 this morning. We're in the hotel working out, rehabbing before all this started because that's what's got me here. So I never forgot that, and that's what's got me to this point. And I know I got a lot of room to grow. So it really just starts with the work and attention to detail, from meal plan to meal prep to Ricky, AJ Nibel and Rick Slate and those guys. Like every offseason we start from square one and we break down how do we need to get better, what are we going to do different, and I've stuck to that every single year, and it's just helped me get to the level I'm at, for sure.
I think if I did one thing for you, it was hiring Rod Marinelli, defensive line coach.
Best thing that ever happened to me, yeah.
And he taught you one word, and you have taken that one word to a level I have never seen, and it's called effort.
Yep.
And I see a lot of D linemen now. They're good players. They have great games. but they don't have great effort every single play every week. A lot of these guys are tapping out, playing 66% of the plays. I saw you go a 9 or 10 game run and not come off the field. What in the hell? How do you get that kind of energy, man?
I mean, it's funny because when I got with Coach Marinelli, you know how he is. Like, he's going to test you as a man first and foremost. And at first, I looked at it as like a threat. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh, he has something against me. But the first thing I told him is, I want to be the best. No matter what, Coach, I want to be the best. Coach me that way, whatever. He was like, all right. So every day he was on my ass, like made it miserable for me. And it took about a year and a half until I went up to his office. It was the first day of OTAs. Remember going into my third year? I was in the best shape of my life. You were saying it, like, I completely dedicated myself to what I'm doing to this day, like across the board, locked in. And I went to the first OTA so excited to show Coach Marinelli I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm never looking back. I'm flying around. Everything he said, no, too high, not good enough. Get low, pad level.
Pissed you off, didn't it?
Killing me. And I was like, this mother. I wanted to freak out. So I went right up to his office. I told him, I'm like, Coach, what is the problem? I said, you're not saying a word to any of these other guys. I'm in the front of the line. I'm going 100 miles an hour. I'm trying to do everything above and beyond. And he looked at me and said, you remember what you told me when I first got here? He said, you want to be the best. I coach Sap. I coach Peppers. That's how I coached him. He said, so if you want that, he said, I could take the foot off the gas. I'll be nice to you, and you could be just like everybody else. Or if you want to really be that, I'm going to push you like that every day. So that always stuck with me. So many coaches I could thank along the road. But, like, honestly, like, I say this in being 100% serious, you gave me confidence at a time I didn't have it initially. Like, I remember those first couple of games, I'm rotating, playing first and second down. I felt like I literally couldn't do anything right. And you always told me, like, when I was struggling or even in OTAs, like, I would have a day that I didn't do as well. You're like, Max, I didn't see you get blocked one time at Eastern Michigan. Right. And I was like, you're right, because I wasn't thinking. I wasn't slow. You know, when you first get in the league, you're like just trying to do everything right. I remember watching a clip, and Clee is running out the ball with his arms like a robot. And you're like, Clee, what the hell is wrong? You've never rushed a passer like that in your life. And that always stuck with me. Like, coaches are meant to continuously build and push and elevate players. And, like, you always instilled that confidence in me that no matter what, like, don't forget who you are. Don't forget what I saw when I watched the film. And I always go back to that. Like, I can't be blocked. I know it might not look normal all the time. I might do some spin moves in the run game and make a TFL from time to time. But, like, be confident in who you are. And you always gave that to me. And the effort part of it, like, that's first and foremost. That's things that require zero talent. So you put talent, hard work, and the energy every single day, like, you're gonna be unstoppable. So
I don't think a lot of people know the ground that you covered, the area that you come from, and some of the things you've been through. I mean, you've had to deal with a lot of adversity. Absolutely. And for you to be sitting here, man, is a great testament to your mental toughness, brother.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, that's at the end of the day, like, there's always gonna be adversity in life. I know we've both been through it. You know, I remember being there with you, like, right after all that craziness was going down, and, like, you're like, I'll be back. That's the first thing. Like, we're both in tears. You know what I mean? Like, having a real conversation. I'll never forget that. It's like being with the Godfather. I'm sitting in your big ass house, and you're just looking at me with Rachel, and things like that. Things in life, like, happen for a reason. Like this injury. Like, I felt bad for myself for a little bit. I talking to my agent. I'm upset. I just beat Baltimore in Baltimore. Like, I had Defensive Player of the Week. I went nuts. And the second to last play, I get rolled up, and I've never done that, but I tore my ankle up. I couldn't walk off the field barely.
No, you played through it.
And I'm, like, mentally going through it. I'm like, I can't do it. And I'm like, I'm going to keep fighting. And that's what it's all about. Like, adversity is going to strike. You don't know when it's going to happen. You want everything to be on your terms. And, of course, right now, you would love to be a head coach right now. You don't know when that's going to be, but I believe you'll be a head coach again. I'm not just saying that because we're here. Like, I know you think that way too. Like, I look at myself as the best player in football. Some people don't believe it, but I'm going to keep going until I can make it undeniable. And if I don't get it, I know I did everything to try to. So that's really my mentality. And, life isn't on your terms. Like, if you're just present where your feet are at, you're going to have a good chance. So
you got a lot of new tattoos, man.
I do got a lot of tattoos.
I mean, I've been seeing you. You go on the TV with your shirt off walking around.
I do. I mean, I'm all tatted.
I was going to go down on Bourbon Street with you tonight and get one.
Let's do it.
Yeah. What do you advise? What would you recommend I get?
I feel like you're You're a big rock and roll guy, so you
man.
need like a classic barbed wire tattoo.
I really do. I'm going to see AC/DC in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl.
There you go.
And I might see if I can drive the bus for them. That's how I feel about AC/DC. But the
that.
Raiders, I want to go back to the Raiders. I still love the Raiders. You know that.
Of course.
The front, we signed Christian Wilkins, a complete notorious effort badass. He gets hurt.
Yep.
You're hurt. And then I thought the other guy we drafted, Malcolm Kuntz, was a badass.
He is a
got
badass.
hurt.
Yep.
So I'm looking at Kansas City, and I love Andy Reid. He's a friend. But we were putting together a band of guys to get after Mahomes. You're hurt. Wilkins is hurt. Kuntz is hurt. I want an update on the front. How is the health and the mindset of not only you but these other guys?
Yeah, I think you know all of us to an extent. You know, obviously me and Malcolm, like guys you drafted. Me and Malcolm are in there every day, rehabbing, lifting, getting to it. Christian's the same way.
Is Malcolm on the same plate that you're on? Because he really came on 2 years ago.
He did, and he was having unbelievable offseason, great camp, and we go on the indoor and just took a wrong step, blew his knee out right before the season. It shook up everybody. Like, we were emotional about it because, you know, Malcolm, he's a great kid, and he's just matured and grown into this guy that when he was a puppy, like, you didn't know what he was going to be, but you could see the traits and the talents, and everyone knows he's a great kid. But he just matured so much. So seeing that happen to him, I know was extremely tough for all of us, but obviously him. But he's motivated. He'll be back. I have zero doubt he's going to be a great player in this league for a long time. So overall, you got guys like Christian, myself, Malcolm. I mean, Adam Butler's another, you know, Adam Butler, that dude is a guy that you would love. You talk about Gruden grinder, like, that dude is playing balls to the wall every snap. So we have you know, our D-line, like, once Coach Marinelli left, once you left, I took so much pride in, like, listen, this D-line is sacred. Like, this is the engine, you know what I mean? And that's my responsibility. I look at it as being the guy up front, you know what I mean? And if I'm going to get praised, like, I need to be that guy every single day and be the best leaders I could be. So I take a lot of pride in that. So you know how it is, the Solomon Thomases, the Quentin Jeffersons, the Yannick Ngakwe's, like, that group set the standard, period. So, like, every year, no matter who's in there, you talk about effort, like, you know how I am. I'm going to make it uncomfortable, and that's just what it is. So it's been great, and I'm looking forward to the future.
A lot of change in the building, you know. I hate not being there, but, you know, Josh comes in, McDaniels. Here comes Antonio Pierce. And now we have a new head coach, Pete Carroll.
Yep.
You know, he won it all in college. He won it all in the NFL. He's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of energy. What's your first impression? I know you were at the press conference. You got to get on his team. You two guys got to lead the charge, right?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it takes everybody to win. You know what I mean? It starts with the coaches and the players, and what he's built over his whole tenure in Seattle, talking to Marshawn and Michael Bennett, all those guys, Richard Sherman, they all say the same thing. They're like, he loves the players and he's going to take care of y'all, but the work comes first. And, like, you know, the work isn't the problem. You know, in the NFL, if you made it there, you at least have work ethic. But if you have leaders that push that and set the tone, it just bleeds through the team. So he's all about winning. He's all about competing. And you talk about, like, energy, like, I mean, you set the standard at a different level. I can't even say that enough, just from all the craziness from on the field, having
what are you talking about?
Remember on the field when Cortez comes out in the boxing gloves? Little stuff like that. Like, people don't even realize, but, like, you got to have fun while you do it. You're working your ass off. Everyone is spending and sacrificing so much time away from their loved ones, but you got to have fun while you do it. Like, we're playing a real, like, this is modern day gladiator football, like the biggest, craziest athletes on the planet going at it. You got to have fun with it too. So I know Pete Carroll is all about that. We've had some awesome conversations so far, and looking forward to, you know, continue having those conversations. So
all these rumors I'm hearing about you getting traded, man. I'm like, what, are you starting the rumors on your podcast to get better ratings, or is there any truth to this? What the hell's going on?
Honestly, you know what it is?
No.
2 years ago, it was trade deadline. I'm from Michigan. Everyone knows
Lions.
that.
I kept hearing Hutchinson got hurt.
Well, it was the year before. For some reason, it just became a thing. Max needs to go to the Lions. Bring him with Hutch. It's going to be a thing. Boom, 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 boom. So, like, that was the first time I started hearing real trade rumors. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm just minding my business, doing my thing. Fast forward, the next trade deadline comes. We're struggling as a team. Hutchinson breaks his leg. Then it's like it was full on. Like, we need Max. We're going to win a Super Bowl. We need Max, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden other teams start jumping. Right now it's like the Bills. I don't know where that came from. The Bills, the Mafia is blowing up my phone.
You get traded,
so it
man.
happens every other – you know what I mean? I have no control of it. I just show up. I go to work and do what I do. For me, all that matters, I want a chance to win. You know what I mean? I want to have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl like you. Like, at the end of the day, me and Coach Marinelli, we still talk damn near every single day. We talk about Hall of Fame and Super Bowls, and they go hand in hand. And I'm a competitor. I'm a winner, and I want to be a part of that. And so, yeah, obviously there's contract stuff. You know what I mean? That's a part of the game as well. So we're going to hash that out. You know, so I got a great agent. Shout out to CJ. But we're going to get that all dialed in and detailed and go from there. So I'm just taking it one step at a time.
You're always working on your pass rush, and I see at Von Miller's pass rush school. What is your signature rush now? I mean, you can only have one signature rush.
Yeah.
And once you get that signature rush, you come up with the complementary rush.
Yep.
But what is the Crosby signature rush? If I'm a tackle, I got to deal with first.
It started, I'll say there's multiple names to it. My coach, Chuck Bulla, he was my D-line coach at Eastern Michigan. You probably know the Bulla brothers. They go, that history there, there's some different cats. You know what I mean? So he called it the voodoo rod. So the voodoo rod is a fake rod to a swipe. Now people call it the stab swipe, double sweep. There's a million names for the same move. For me, it's the double sweep. Like I call it the double sweep, voodoo rod, whatever you want to call it. That's my move.
The voodoo
I'll say
rod.
the voodoo rod. You give them the fake stab to power. You set up the power.
Give me this.
Here we
Just stand up real quick and
go.
give me
My
the.
whole lineman?
Yeah. I'm gonna hold these microphones in case.
Yeah, I'll get out your way.
Oh,
So,
here, you hold these microphones. I got these microphones.
you can put them down or whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
The voodoo rod.
Voodoo rod. So
Ball's inside.
Yeah, ball's inside. So we talk about game planning, just like a coach. They talk about, okay, we're going to set this up. We're going to start with this early to set up the deep ball. Let's start with the run game, open up the play action. As a rusher, I look at the voodoo rod as I'm going to start with power. I'm going to try to break his face mask at the beginning of the game and really make him respect my power. So it would either be a long arm, inside pack, hands, your hands above your eyes. We're going to start with that, or I'm going to go speed to literally just put my head in his chin just to set the tone. So I can start it off that way. So as the game goes on, you're setting up power. Then you got to spin, throw that in there, just a little sprinkle. So now he's kind of like, okay, I think he's going to go with power. And if he's got me there, they have to stop their feet and respect it. So if I run through his face one time, he's going to be a little bit heavier on his feet, and he's going to hesitate. So this is what sets up the voodoo rod. End of the game, money time, fourth quarter. You've seen it this year in Kansas City. It's 3rd and 4, red zone. What am I going to hit him with? Get off the ball, make it look exactly the same.
Oh shit, here
I'm
comes the
stabbing,
power.
here comes the power, and then I get to his edge. I'm working half a man, so you'd have to kind of work this way. I'm stabbing. The second he stops, he's going to hesitate to hitch. He's going to shoot his hands lean, and I'm swiping, and I'm gone. You almost took my chain. But that's what happens. Second I feel it. It's an anticipation. I'm not waiting till he touches me. Stab, swipe, sack.
Voodoo rod.
Voodoo rod. Ball game. Shout out to Chuck Bulla.
Write
That's
that
what
down.
we call it.
Voodoo rod, Maxx Crosby.
Voodoo rod.
I'm gonna make T-shirts and make them millions. Voodoo rod.
Voodoo rod. Yep.
I'm sitting there looking at you like my son, man. You show up, your hair's all messed up.
My hair's messed up?
No, when you
don't
showed
like-
up from Eastern Michigan,
what?
you look like
I was like,
a
damn. I was
freaking-
like, I try to make.
You look like a kid dishwasher down at the Bourbon Street. Now look at you. You got the Jerry curls. You got everything, man.
I appreciate
I
you.
mean, how's Rachel and little Ella doing?
Oh my God, they're here in New Orleans.
Are they?
Having a ball. Ella did her little walk around Bourbon Street, Canal Street. She's having a good time. So
You
she's
take care of those two girls, or I'll kill you.
No,
those
you
are,
already
those,
know.
Those are the best little things I've ever seen.
It's everything. It's everything. They're incredible. So yeah, they're.
Well,
living the life.
I've been trying. I've been scratching. Just so you know, I'm working behind the scenes. I'm digging. I'll be back.
I know you will.
I'll be back.
I have zero
But
doubt in my mind.
in the meantime, I got this great opportunity
Yep.
at Barstool, and I seen you on your podcasts.
We need to have you on, by the way. I'm calling you out with the cameras. You have to come on.
I'd be honored.
I would absolutely love it. We could talk ball all day.
In Vegas or on Zoom?
Whatever you want. I would prefer you in person. You come to Vegas, I'll pay for your damn
I need
flight.
to get
don't
back
care.
to see the Raiders. I saw
back.
Mark Davis. He came by Tampa when the Buccaneers were playing the Raiders. So Mark was in Tampa.
Yeah.
We had a chance to just talk a little bit.
I love
He
it.
invited me back to a game. So
Come back to Vegas.
You get
with-
Malcolm Kuntz and you get Wilkins. You call me when you guys are really ready to play.
Okay, perfect.
You know, all three of you. I'm not paying season tickets and flying out there to see you guys with Chris Cortez in the training room.
I don't want to see
wanna
that. I don't
see-
want to see that room or Chris,
Yeah.
Chris Cortez ever again.
Yeah.
If I don't see him again, I'll be good.
Good.
I love him though. He's a good dude, but I don't want to be in that damn training room anymore. Done with it.
Who are the 3 or 4 leaders on the football team other than you?
I would say you look at I mean, the roster changes all the time.
Yeah.
So Colton Miller, I think Colton Miller, he's a quiet leader but leads by example. I would say a young emerging leader, the next guy to kind of take that next step would be a Malcolm. Kind of like when you had Yannick come in, I kind of was like the younger dude underneath him, learning and figuring out how to do it and lead by example. I think Malcolm could be a great leader. Robert Spillane, he's a guy. He's a
love him.
Gruden grinder. You talk about dudes you would love. Robert Spillane for sure. Who else am I? I don't want to forget anybody. It has changed a lot, but yeah, I would say those are like the 3 that come to mind. Obviously, you got Christian, works his ass off. We got some good dudes over there for sure.
What are you doing here in New Orleans? What do you got the next couple days?
I am in and out. I'm here. I'm doing NFL honors tonight, the Walter Payton Award. I'm a nominee, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm going to NFL honors tonight, and then I'm back to work tomorrow morning in Vegas. So
I'm going on the radio with Big Cat and Dave Portnoy at 5 o'clock. So if you're around, you're welcome to be on our show.
perfect.
But
Perfect.
any questions you got for your old coach? And go ahead, fire at me.
I was gonna say, how's the podcast life? Because I've been, or not even podcast life, the Barstool life. Because
Yeah.
every video, and I'm not just saying this, I watched literally every video that you've released. It started before you got with Barstool. All of a sudden, I see you behind a screen screaming, throwing your fist in the air.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Nicey.
this motherfucker's nicey. He's back at it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been locked in. So. How's that life been treating you? I've been
Yeah,
seeing you
great.
taking shots and shit at some random bars in
Great.
Chicago. I've
Yeah.
been seeing it all.
You know, I'm having fun. I'm with really creative people that
Yeah.
love sports, and I have found my little branch where I can stay totally committed to football
Yeah.
and have a lot of fun with some cool people, and it's really been fun. And my son Mike, his nickname is Hexed, Hexed. He produces and engineers electronic dance music.
Okay.
He writes this song called Nicey, and I'm thinking, Maxx Crosby, 9 tackles, 3 sacks. Oh, it's got me feeling nicey, man. It really does. So then I started doing it every week. I'm watching film, and I'm like, this fucking Buddha Baker. It's got me feeling nice.
Hell yeah.
So I have this little nicey thing I do, and I got other things. I just love football, and I love guys that bust their ass and play with great effort, and you are the king of effort.
I appreciate
And I
it.
want to just keep encouraging you, let you know I'm always here. And
Love you, Coach. I
fucking
appreciate
love
it.
you, man.
You're the man. No, it's funny.
What's your greatest memory of old Chucky? Anything that you make fun of me on?
I'm
other
glad
than cutting your ass?
we clarified the cutting part. Yeah, so
I'm
we're
glad
good
you
on that
did.
end.
I'm
I
glad
know.
you did.
I heard you were very upset about that, so I'm glad we could.
I mean, I walk
clear
down
air.
the streets. There's the fucking idiot that didn't want Khalil Mack. There's the idiot that wanted to cut Max.
Max.
Here's the moron doesn't want Brady or Gronk.
I'll say this. My favorite memory, to cut you off, I know you'll keep going.
I mean, how dumb do you people
Fuck.
think I am?
Hey, Super Bowl champion. I'll say
about-
this. My favorite memory, the thing I miss the most, were your team meetings. They were every single time it was like a stand-up comedy, and people don't even. I mean, people have seen clips of it, little stuff. The knock on wood, if you're with me. Every meeting, I'm in tears, laughing with the guys. Like you're just up there, fucking. You're talking so like detailed. Boom. Okay, this is what they're gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. You're breaking down football. Then all of a sudden, you're roasting somebody and shit, and, like fucking with somebody, and it's like it was the best. Like you truly, I believe, you're meant to be on TV for many reasons. You're fucking hilarious, but. You should be a stand-up comic one day. I think you can do it.
Shit. I
You
try
can
to
do
stir
it.
the emotions, man. I would walk
Yeah.
in there determined. I didn't want to be boring.
No, you
I did
couldn't.
not want these 12. I only had 8 or 10 minutes with you guys
Yeah,
every day to
it's
set
quick.
a tone, but I never wanted it to be boring.
Yeah.
So I would go in there, and I swear I would think of ways to piss all you guys off.
Yeah,
I'm going to
fact.
say something that's so bad you can't help but be pissed.
Yeah.
And then I might try to make you laugh one day,
Yeah.
and then maybe fire you up or make you cry or whatever. But
Yeah.
Do you remember Hard Knocks with Montez Burfict and Antonio Brown and Richie Incognito?
That was my rookie year.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is normal, and what things I see a fucking hot air balloon, Antonio Brown. I'm like, this is the NFL. Wow, this is cool. And his feet burned off. The helmet didn't fit.
Tell these people
Richie
about
wanted
Richie
to murder
Incognito.
me.
As soon as you come inside on a TE stunt, and there's Richie Incognito waiting for you.
A fucking rhinoceros in human form. He
tried
tried
to
to kill
you.
me.
He
tried to
did.
kill me multiple times.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel like. I talked about this before, but like, I remember the first day of one-on-ones and pads. We're going up. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be like third in line. I'm third string DN. Trent Brown's up. He's the first right tackle up. Everyone's looking at me like, I'm not fucking going. Like, I'm like, what? Like, you're not going to – I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, I don't care who it is. I can get knocked out cold. I'm not standing down to him. So I feel like that's where, like – because I'm still close with Richie and Vontez to this day. Like, I feel like you earn that respect as a young guy. You going in there, you can get your ass whooped 100 times, but if at least you fucking step up to the plate, you get the respect forever. So that was like my thing. I was like, I'm looking, no, I'm not going to call him out, but you know who the DNs were. They wanted no part of Trent Brown. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to get my ass whooped. But I beat him one time. It took me like 3 weeks to beat him, but I got Trent on the long arm in team, and I was like, it gave me the ultimate confidence.
I was determined to beat the Chiefs. We had to outscore them initially. We got to outscore these guys.
Yeah.
And I saw Trent Brown in the AFC playoffs the year the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
He shut Joey Bosa out.
Out.
That's all I needed to see because we had to beat the Chargers.
Yep.
So we got him at one side. We got Colt Miller. Then I said, we need to get Incognito because we got Josh Jacobs and Alec Ingold.
Yeah.
I said, we're going to get the best left fucking guard that can pull and run our power plays. We had Gabe Jackson, we had Waller, we had Renfro, we had Carr, and I thought as we added pieces on defense, I really thought we could be something with that punter we have, A.J. Cole, and that place kicker.
Yeah.
And you still got a lot of great pieces.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Get your freaking leg healthy, man.
Oh, no. I'm going to be flying around in no time. You know that.
You get a can of whoop ass and you use it on everybody that you play.
You got my word.
And I love you, brother.
I love you too, Coach. I
Thanks
appreciate it.
for joining me, man. That was awesome.
You're
Love
the
you,
best.
brother.
I love you, Coach.